ドジャースタジアムに響くため息、大谷翔平のキャリア通算300号という歴史的な一発で、幕を開けた夜は、あまりにも残酷な結末を迎えました。守備の用たちが犯した信じがたい2つのミス。全米のメディアがドジャースらしくないと困惑する中、指揮官ロバーツの怒りは頂点に達しました。常勝軍団に何が起きたのか、勝敗を分けたあの深い亀裂の正体に迫ります。ここからはその様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
Brought to you by Mercury Insurance. John Hartung, Jerry Hairston Jr., and Nomar Garciaparra. Really uncharacteristic loss by the Dodgers tonight. It started well. Shohei Ohtani hit his 300th career home run to start the game. Justin Robleski, fantastic once again through 7 innings. But in the 8th inning, Dodgers up 3-1. Things started to unravel for them. They had 2 errors in the inning, which led to 3 unearned runs. And on the offensive side, Dodgers get the first 2 on in the bottom of the 9th, Jerry. And they're unable to score because it was the theme of the night. They went 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position, just couldn't come through when they needed to.
Yeah, really surprising. John, you really hit the nail on the head. Very uncharacteristic, that 8th inning. Listen, Dodgers have been elite. Not good. They've been elite defensively. And, you know, they just had a bad inning. It happened, especially a long season, 162 games. Robleski, once again, was outstanding. 7 strong innings, 9 strikeouts. But you're right, John. You get opportunities to score. 1 for 12 is just not going to get it done. Now, the Dodgers did hit some balls hard. They did. But 1 for 12 overall, can't win a ball game like that.
You know, this is one of those games when you go back into the clubhouse and you're just frustrated. And you're frustrated at yourself. Because, one, you know, yeah, the errors are uncharacteristic, something they haven't done. They have been playing great defense. And you can look past the errors, go, listen, that was that 1 inning. We really struggled, something we haven't been doing. But then you look at, man, we had a lot of opportunities to potentially put this game away. You have 1 for 12 of runners in scoring position, but when you look in that 4th inning, you had a couple of guys on and 1 out, you hit in that double play. Then in the 5th inning, with bases loaded and 1 out, only managed 1 run in that inning where you really had a chance to really break that one open there and really put another team away. That's where you start getting frustrated, and then you go into the final inning where you had a couple of guys on with nobody out and not really doing much. So that's where the offensive, where you feel frustrated, not just because of the errors, but also, once again, you have your starter, Robleski, another outstanding start. A quality start, going 7 innings, giving you a chance to win. So that's what's more frustrating. You're like, man, our starter did his job once again. It couldn't just get those hits we should have gotten in order to put this game away.
Yeah, Justin Robleski handed a 3-1 lead over to the bullpen, and then Will Klein came into the game, Nomar, in that 8th inning. It was a leadoff walk. Then there was a base hit there, and I'm not sure if Miguel Rojas had his vision somewhat blurred by the runner who was kind of in front of him, but that's normally a play. He turns into a double play to end the inning, and then there was the throwing error by Alex Freeland.
We all make errors. We all make that. Yeah. Even the great ones like Miggy Rowe, which is something you just don't see so very often. And yeah, so you boot one. It happens. Here's one where, you know, listen, Alex Freeland's going, listen, Mickey Rowe's so great, I could probably throw it to him on the run. That's what you're thinking too, right? Where rather than just eating that and just saying, listen, nobody's there, leave him over at third base, you throw the ball and you make a mistake and the guy ends up scoring on that error as well. But because he's so elite, you're like, man, this guy can do anything over there. And so that's probably why he tried to do something right there rather than put that in your pocket. And you can just see Dave Roberts' frustration. And listen, Dave Roberts is the only one that feels that way. You on the field feel that way as well. You're like, really? That's just not us? And it ended up happening.
Here's another thing. Listen, this Dodger team has been awesome. Not good. They have been awesome all year long. As you see the Rockies, we saw it in the pregame show. Here's this error by Miggy Rowe. I mean, uncharacteristic. You mentioned it, John. Maybe the runner may have shielded him a little bit, kind of blurred his vision. There's that Carroll's kid again. He probably blurred his vision. And then we talk about execution. Great play by Max Muncy. Get that out at first base. Freeland does hit Miggy Rowe on the run, but Miggy Rowe unable to make the play. I think this is a great learning experience. Understanding you always have somewhere to be. And you want this to happen now, July. Now, sometimes teams attack it a little differently. Let's say if the pitcher doesn't field the ball and you see your third baseman field it and go to first base. On some teams that I played on, immediately that pitcher runs to third base. Then you have the trailer. Miggy Rowe sees that's not a play at second base. He'll hustle to third base. This is a great learning experience. I'm glad it happened now so the team can address it, because you don't want this type of play to happen in the postseason. I'll say it again. This team has been elite. The best defensive team in all of baseball.
Yeah.
They had one bad inning.
Yeah.
And I think Carroll said it best as well. Sometimes these things happen. Turn the page. You have a chance to win the series tomorrow.
Yeah, like I said, this is one where you also look at from an offensive perspective. Like, we could have picked up ourselves. We could have picked up that bad inning.
Yep.
You know, like, all right, where you overlook the errors. Yeah, we can look at that and say it's tough, but we still managed to put this game away or find a way. And I think that's another thing is you're just frustrated. You go back as you're like, man, we really wasted such another phenomenal spot. That's how you feel. You wasted a great start by Robleski by not us capitalizing on those opportunities at the plate. Errors are going to happen. It's part of the game, but those missed opportunities at the plate, I think, are probably most frustrating. But at the same time, this is one where you go, we got to turn the page. We can still win the series. We're playing great. We can't let this snowball something that hasn't been done.
I will say this, too. We said it on the pregame show as well. This Rocky team is different, man. Yeah. They're different. They're young. They're hungry. And they took advantage of our mistakes, and you credit them. They take advantage of mistakes. That's what good big league teams do. And this team is young, and they're learning on the fly. So this is a good learning experience for the Dodgers. Doesn't matter who you're playing. You got to bring your A game. If you don't bring your A game, you could get beat.
And they got beat tonight. In fact, that 11-game home winning streak against the Rockies coming to an end tonight. 4-3, Colorado takes it. Let's send it upstairs, check in one final time with Joe Davis and Eric Karros.
Well, the Dodgers, second night in a row, they see the lead disappear late, but this time they're unable to overcome it.
No, and tonight, look, there were a lot of opportunities offensively. The Dodgers weren't able to capitalize. Defensively, they had a rough one inning. This is one of those games. It's like, okay, it happened, flush it, come back tomorrow and win a series.
And Roki Sasaki goes, trying to get back to what he was doing in May.
Right. He's looking to build on something, and that build is, again, it happened a while ago. The last few outings haven't been what he wanted, but he has an opportunity to go against an aggressive ball club tomorrow and right the ship.
Ryan Feltner will counter for the Rockies. 7-10 first pitch in the final game.
In your moment of the game, Jared, we got to go Access 360 on the big show.
We know the legendary Shohei Ohtani's up there. First inning, gets a fastball, outer half, then down. He's going to get something middle, and does not miss it. A sinker that really doesn't sink. This is a line drive home run. Outstanding job of Shohei Ohtani staying on this pitch. You're going to take another look at it. Stay square, head down on contact, exit velo, 112. Launch angle, I'm not stuttering. This is 19 degrees. Anytime it's under 21 degrees, it's a line drive. Outstanding job, Shohei Ohtani, to put us on the board. Not one, not two, but 300 career homers. So impressive.
And the fifth fastest to ever do it, number one on the list, is Aaron Judge. He did it in under 1,000 game, which is, it's absurd. Then you see Ralph Kiner, Ryan Howard of the Phillies, Juan Gonzalez, and then Shohei, 1,102 games. Dodgers lose, though, 4-3 to the Rockies. Let's head inside the clubhouse right now and hear from Miguel Rojas with Kirsten Watson and the media.
Miggy, whenever we talk about this defense, it's always about just doing the little things right and being really sound. When you look at just kind of how the two errors kind of played out, did you find that you were kind of either supposed to be over covering third, or what were you kind of reading for yourself personally there in that moment?
Yeah, obviously the ground ball. I got the opportunity to catch a ball and make the play and get outside of the inning there. That's a physical error, but I'm way more disappointed by the other play when I kind of froze and I was like all over second base over there, and I shouldn't be there. I should have been on third base, and we keep the game tied right there and gave us an opportunity to win. So physical errors happen, and I'm okay with that. You know, I'm not perfect, and I'm gonna make errors, and physical errors are okay, but mental errors are the ones that are kind of like disappointing. Like I should have been on third base. I shouldn't be putting Alex Freeland on the situation of throwing the ball with me on the run there. That's the one that I kind of like kick myself for.
Did you think he was holding up at second initially, or just
no? The bunt to the third base side kind of surprised me a little bit because I mean, in that situation you're trying to bunt to first because of he's holding the back. So when he bunted to third, I kind of like I watched the play and then I realized that I gotta go to third, and that's when I felt like I made the mistake.
Thank you.
And to no one's surprise, Miguel Rojas not making excuses, holding himself accountable there. Jerry said, yes, the double play ball that he booted That's a physical error. He should have made the play. It's a physical error, which you can live with, but he's more upset about what he feels like was the mental error not getting over to third base.
And Nomar and I, we touched on it, to start the show. Usually the teams do is you're the shortstop. You kind of flash the second baseman. As soon as the third baseman feels that he's going to first base, you go to third base to prevent from that runner even attempting to go to third base. You're going to see the play again. Dreyer is on the mound. You're going to see the bunt to the third baseman. Now you see Max go to third. You immediately, as a shortstop, you get to third base to prevent the runner. Or if he does go to third, Freeland can have an easier target. I was really impressed by Freeland. He threw a pretty good ball to Miguel Rojas on the run. You're going to see it right here. And Miggy didn't catch it, but like Miggy said, it shouldn't even got to that point. He should have been already at third base, or at least had a 30 to 45 foot jump on the runner going to third base. But I will say this is why this team is a championship ball club. And listen, Dave Roberts right there showing the frustration, showing Dodger fans. We were all frustrated. I'm telling you what, Miggy Rowe and the Dodgers team times that by 10, because they're the ones on the field, those ones making great plays. And then tonight, this little bit of a mental error. And Miggy Rowe, having him stand up there and taking accountability, are we surprised? Of course not. That's why he's a champion, and that's why you want him in critical situations.
We mentioned that before the interviews, before we even heard it, is how you get frustrated. You get frustrated by, one, the opportunities, missed opportunities from the offensive standpoint to put this game away. But he touched on it. You're frustrated because, errors, we've all made those errors. That happens. Like you said, physical ones. It really is the mental ones that really just drive you crazy, because you're like, what happened? And as he mentioned, like you kind of freeze there. You can pick each other up. That's one where sometimes the pitcher kind of goes, okay, whenever that base is open, the pitcher kind of says, okay, I'm not feeling that ball, then I got to see what's open and going over there. Shortstop usually goes, okay, if they're not throwing to me to second base, then immediately you start going over there, you're going halfway and say, okay, I got to get to third to try to stop that guy from continuing over. Then sometimes you even have your catcher kind of go, and he sprints over there to cover third just to try to minimize that extra 90 feet that somebody can get. Nobody was covering third. He froze. Sometimes there's others at time, but I can see where that's the most frustrating thing, because I should have been there. Yeah, I'm going to miss balls. We all miss those. Those are happening. You're human. You're going to make those errors. But when you're going, man, what happened to me? Why did I freeze and not get where I was supposed to be? I can understand the frustration.
And listen, if there's a bright side of this, I'm glad it happened mid-July. We said it earlier. You want stuff to happen. You're not going to go 106-2-0. That's not going to happen. But if things are going to occur, maybe some minor lapses here and there, you want that to happen now. Yeah. That way you addressed it. Hey, you know what? Remember this play here in July, this play in August, this play in early September. We can't have that in the postseason. And this is why the Dodgers, back-to-back champs, last year, they were flawless defensively. They made heroic plays because they were prepared once the playoff hits. I'm glad this type of thing happened now, so they understand moving forward this can't happen again.
And that's something that you can work on, like I mentioned, in PFP now. You're like, hey, guys, we're going to work on, hey, pitchers, let's be reminded and work on when you go to the third base side and the third baseman gets it, you're not done yet. You got to keep going over to third base if it's empty, or you also got to be that backup, Yes. And then you're also going, okay, where's my left fielder on that one? Was my left fielder busting it over to the line in case there's a throw to also? Because outfielders have places to be on those places
100%.
As well, and recognizing where the ball might be and a throw might be just in case. So that's where you're going, all right, all these guys, let's just kind of cover it again and remind ourselves where we can kind of pick each other up or making sure that empty base is covered somehow.
All right, Colorado Rockies cash in 3 unearned runs in the 8th inning. They beat the Dodgers 4-3, still unearned runs to win this one 4-3. Let's head inside and hear from Dave Roberts with the media.
Dave, we've talked so much about just how this team does the little things so well, especially defensively. When you look at that 8th inning, can you explain just what you saw there, the errors, and kind of what maybe should have been in that situation?
Miggy didn't make a play, and then on the bunt, he just didn't get over to third base. And, it doesn't happen very often that he doesn't make a play, number one, and certainly not getting over there. So it happens, very uncharacteristic. I'm sure he owned it, but it's baseball. But, this guy's as dependable as they come. So that it happens. We don't like it, doesn't feel good, but with that player, I give him a lot of grace because he is very dependable.
Look at just kind of what you've been seeing from Lil Klein, and as much as it wasn't bad per se, it just seems like that early walk kind of got to him. How are you seeing just him getting back on track?
I think the stuff's good. It's just one of those things. You have a 2-run lead. You've got a right-handed hitter up to lead the inning off. You just can't walk him. And, he went for the strikeout there with a guy that really doesn't chase much in Caros, and you've got to make him put the ball in play. Certainly, you have a 2-run lead. So that's kind of how, then gives up a soft serve hit, but to Carrig. But, that it's baseball. But I think it started with that leadoff walk.
Miggy said, he should have been covering third on that play. Is he just supposed to go there as soon as Max comes
Yeah, once Max fields the ball, then he's supposed to kind of follow a trail behind him.
What did you just see, in that ninth inning, being able to build the rally there and obviously having the right guys at the plate, but not being able to cash in?
Yeah, we had the right guys at the plate. Shohei, I think, chased early and then missed a fastball, then, got blown up on a fastball. And then Andy flew out, mid-shallow right. And then, then Freddie puts together an at-bat, but then he made a good pitch. So it's unfortunate. Yeah, we had first and second base with the top of the order up and felt good about at least pushing one across.
With Justin, it's 20 strikeouts the last 2 starts. Are you seeing him do something different, or just the stuff playing a little bit different to kind of add that piece more consistently into everything else he's been doing this year?
I think it's more of, early on the stuff was really good. Then it kind of was 94 to 96, and then the last handful of starts just ticked up to 7. The slider is a lot more sharp, and I think he is going for strikeouts when he has count leverage, as opposed to just kind of putting the ball in play. But, man, these guys swing over there. He was attacking, but when he does get count leverage, he's done a really good job the last, few starts of getting strikeouts.
Do you think that the way that Justin has kind of evolved a little, even in this season, has made it harder for opponents to kind of learn him, catch up with him?
I think so. I mean, the stuff's good, and it's a low slot fastball that has some rise to it. There's a little funk in the throw, and then he's got a slow breaking ball. He's got a hard slider, and then he's even throwing the changeup a little bit to righty. So he's got some weapons that he feels comfortable attacking with, and so it is hard to game plan versus Justin, especially a guy that he's going to be around the plate. So guys are going to be swinging.
By Justin Robleski, let's head inside the clubhouse and hear from Robo with the media.
Justin, when you look at just kind of navigating through their lineup tonight, the 9 strikeouts, obviously you had 11 in your last one. How are you finding just the swing and miss and how consistent that's been over your last few outings?
Yeah, I think, we're just doing a good job with the plan, and I feel like I'm continuing to get better at kind of knowing where to go with 2 strikes, knowing kind of where to go versus a certain hitter with 2 strikes, and just kind of reading the game. So I think as a collective, we've done a good job between, Rush, myself, Chucky a couple times ago, Mark and Connor and everybody just kind of working together to figure out what to do once we get the 2 strikes. I think that's kind of where the miss is coming from.
You're someone who likes to kind of break down whether it's each outing. Now that you have officially kind of hit the halfway point for your season, how do you just assess how this first half of the year has gone?
Yeah, I think, I've thrown the ball pretty well. I think, again, there's always stuff you can nitpick and try to improve on, but for the most part in the categories that I'm trying to be good at, I've done a pretty good job. So it's just a matter of, again, continuing to hammer those and continuing to do what I need to do to be myself and hammer my strengths, and that's the key.
You said a couple starts ago that you're going to let some of the all-star stuff kind of play itself out. Is there any disappointment just over not being part of the group that's initially at least announced?
Yeah, obviously it's disappointing. You want to be an all-star. It's something that, regardless of the year or whenever, it's always a big deal. And yeah, it's something I wanted to do, and yeah, it's frustrating to not get that nod. But like I said before, I think it's just more reason to try and keep getting better, and hopefully I can gain the respect of players and everybody else, and maybe be in there next year.
Duck has still been really lobbying for you. Just what does that mean to you?
Yeah, that means a lot, obviously. To hear from him, he's given me this opportunity to kind of be a starter in the major leagues when maybe some other teams would have given up on me. So, it means a lot to hear from him, and hopefully I can keep eating innings for him and getting deep into games and doing my best.
Do you hold out hope personally, just knowing that they are now starting to make those decisions for replacements, or do you have to kind of put that aside to let the chips fall?
I mean, yeah, I would like to. I would like to know where my All-Star break's going to be. But, if it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, some time off and just get to chill for a couple days. So, either way, I'm all good.
Justin Robleski is certainly deserving of an all-star nod this year, Nomar, and he showed once again why tonight with those 7 innings.
He mentioned about being able to just adjust or get better with 2 strikes, get the swing and miss, learn a little bit more after every outing and developing that. And we're going to go to the K zone and break down what he did with 2 strikes, and he racked up 9 Ks. The other key thing is not only just the pitches that he utilized, and he utilized all of his pitches. It wasn't just one pitch he went to every single time, but here's the slider. But look at 0-2, getting ahead was also really key. That's what he does really well. Early on, he is pounding the zone. So you got the sliders that are getting the swing and miss, 3-2 fastball, but it's also locating the fastball in a fastball count to still get, you're looking fastball 3-2 and you still locate it to get the swing and miss. And now 0-2, you can keep coming to the slider. You can also utilize your fastball too when you're 0-2, but everything there, that glove side, doing an excellent job there with pounding the zone right there in the corners. Fastball we know plays up, but he can throw his changeup, slider, fastball, all the different pitches over there. But the fact that he's ahead with 2 strikes allows them to keep the hitters off balance.
I remember facing a guy coming up when I was with the Orioles for a couple years. He came out of the bullpen in an emergency start. Their starter got hurt. He was thrust out of the bullpen. He had to make that emergency start. He goes out there and deals. Kid's name was Johan Santana. He never saw the bullpen again. I think this is what we're seeing with Robleski. He's not going to see the bullpen again. He's not. This kid has fastball command as good as anybody right now in the big leagues. I'm going to say this again. As good. He can throw the fastball up when he wants, down when he wants. And oh, by the way, that slider continues to get better and better. He is starting to become lethal and understand, you know what? I can throw any pitch at any time. Also, when I command the fastball, these hitters are going to cheat. So when they cheat, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a slider look like a fastball and get the swing and miss. He has learned now. You know what? Yes, I want soft contact early, but when I get to 2 strikes, I'm going to kind of dangle the carrot a little bit and get them to chase and now swing and miss besides soft contact. Yeah. This kid has made a huge leap the last 10, 12 starts, and this kid has staying power in the rotation.
That's a good point. It's early on quality pitch for the contact, and then later on pitch to put you away.
And still hope that he could make the All-Star team. We will wrap things up. Tough stretch for the 24-year-old. Has an ERA over 10 in his last 4 starts. Coming off the shortest outing of the season, he gave up 6 runs in 3 innings to the Padres. Nomar, how does he right the ship tomorrow night?
Well, really, he's got to find a way to bounce back, and it's all been stems from that fastball command. He knows that early on. When he went through a stretch where he was right on. He had the fastball command, he had the velocity play, he had the consistent in mechanics, all those things working. He's been inconsistent with those mechanics, inconsistent with the fastball. He's got to find it regularly.
That's a great point. Inconsistent with mechanics. Hopefully, during this break, he found those mechanics and he will implement them tomorrow night. Listen, we know Roki. Roki's got such great stuff, but he's got to have command of all his pitches tomorrow night.
We talked on the pregame show, the Dodgers, one of the reasons they've been so good, the ability to bounce back after losing games. That will be put to the test tomorrow in the final game of this 3-game series with the Rockies. For Jerry, Nomar, and Kirsten, I am John. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Pregame at 6 o'clock. Shohei bobblehead, by the way. Should be fun.
日本語。今日の敗戦は今のドジャースにとって非常に示唆に富む軽傷です。先発のロブレスキーは7回9奪三振と圧倒的なピッチングを見せ、防御率と投球内容の整合性も安定していました。しかし、守備での精神的な迷いが全てを台無しにしました。特に、ロハスが三塁をカバーしなかった場面は、メジャーのショートとしてはあってはならない判断ミスです。攻撃面でも、得点圏での打率は12打数1野数と精彩を欠きました。好調な打線だからこそ、こうした試合運びの細部への甘さが目立ちます。怪我人が続出する、故障者、リストの状況元で、選手層の厚さを維持しつつ、 守備の連携や配球の精度をどう高めるか、ポストシーズンを見据えた課題は山積みです。勝敗派時の運ですが、王者であればこそこの敗戦を糧にしなければなりません。皆さんは、この敗戦の最大の要因はどこにあると考えますか？守備の意識か、それとも攻撃の詰めの甘さでしょうか？ぜひ皆さんの冷静かつ熱い分析をコメント欄で聞かせてください。最後までご覧いただき、本当にありがとうございました。ドジャースの進撃が止まったこの夜、皆さんはどう感じましたか？ぜひコメント欄で意見を交換しましょう。動画が面白いと思った方は、チャンネル登録と高評価をお願いします。また次の動画でお会いしましょう。